Yeah, 24 people, 24 likes. Hell of a way to start out. What's going on, guys? I am Jaguar Wright, and welcome to Jaguar Country. I don't know if any of you guys have seen me wear this cap before, but this is just definitely a Jaguar Country Cat Day. How's everybody doing? Now, you guys know this is a mobile upload, so I wanted to make sure that we were able to let as many people come through, but it is a members only chat. So for anyone who isn't a member who would like to participate in this conversation, all you have to do is become a member. Um, and, you know, we can, you know what? Let me do this. Try to make it simple. Let's take this and, okay, let's get over here to join the live. Okay. And we're just going to replace that pin right there. And I'm also going to be pinning up Set in the West back up until we get the channels back and up and moving and running. A lot of interesting things going on in the world right now. A lot of, you know, a lot of craziness, to say the least. I want to say salute to everyone that was over there. We had a little over 350 people that were supporting and watching the live premiere of Defending Your Freedom, episode 4, the Demoree Hadley story. I don't know. Did you guys enjoy it? I was able to, get inside the chat a little bit. And please keep liking. Keep liking. Don't stop liking. All you have to do is tap the screen to do so. We need to let everybody know that we're over here now. We had some people over there. Now we just need to let everybody come through. Um, we want as many people as possible talking about what we're talking about. Um, thank you. Like I said, our interview together is one of my favorites. And I think the reason why is because we really got a chance to get to know her. I'm glad we asked the questions that we had. I'm glad we built the rapport that we did. And I'm glad she felt safe enough with us to just open up the way that she did. Yes, justice for the Hadleys. Thank you, Kelly. Um, you know, let's start off here. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen episode 1. Put a 2 in the chat if you've seen episode 1 and 2. Put a 3 in the chat if you've seen and all 3, and put a 4 in the chat if you've seen all 4. So, but only if you've seen all 4. Okay, so we have some people, okay, let's see, 1. Some people just saw, okay, 3. Some people have seen all 4. Okay. Okay, and put a 5 in the chat if you've only seen 1 episode of the entire series, okay? So 1 if you've seen 1, 2 if you've seen all 2. Only put the number in if you've seen them all. If you've only seen 1 and not the others, just put a 5 in the chat. Okay, 3 and 5. Okay. Okay. Got it. And you shared them all. Thank you, Auntie Leah. We really need everyone to share their story. I think after hearing episode 4, and once again, we got to know a lot more about Demoree in this series. And I'm glad we took it and we broke it up into a series. And I'm glad we didn't rush it to get it all out. No, it doesn't make you a weirdo. It doesn't make you a weirdo at all. It makes you somebody that cares about the story. And that's what's super duper duper important. Thank you for posting that up, Auntie Leah. And very shortly, I'm going to make sure, as you keep dropping links, that we'll be able to post that up so we can get Set in the West to that 1K subscriber. So anyone who wants to, please make sure you get over there. Uh, in the midst of doing this story, in the midst of releasing this story, we lost the channel. We lost two channels. Um, mm, you know, Set in the West had been a channel here on YouTube for like 20 years, like practically from when it started. Um, and once we started working together and we started producing content together, um, he added the Jaguar Wright show because he produces the Jaguar Wright show to Set in the West. Uh, well, we're not gonna call it rest in peace because we're fighting to get him back. Because the truth is, it was taken down because of copyright strikes that that ain't they not what they supposed to be. Just went live and said she won. Oh, listen to me. If they are releasing other people, then we should be able to too. We've done the work, we put in the fight. I mean, at this point in time, if they don't release the channels, it would be biased. It would definitely be malicious. Uh, the simple fact that freedom of speech is so not taken seriously. And let's just be clear, all of this didn't even become a thing with, it was, oh, they're taking down people's channels and whoopty whoopty woo and yada yada yada. So I want you guys to pay attention to something that happened for those of you um who were watching episode 4. In episode 4, as you saw at the end, Demore, they had already gone after the gag order. And we filmed this, 2 weeks after my birthday, right before the month of June came rolling in. So we've known, which is why when we found out, and we want to say salute to the 200 people here. It would be great if we had that many likes. We need 110 more likes. We already knew that they were going to silence her. We knew that. We knew that that's what they wanted. Yeah, yeah. Which is why we asked her every pertinent question that we possibly could. We really crafted everything to be able to make sure that we could memorialize her story before she would legally not be able to share it. Like, I want you guys to really think of how conscientious we've been regarding this story the entire time. Even after we filmed, and we knew we all felt good about it. We felt good about this interview. Um, but I was bracing myself. Like, make no mistake about it. From the second that we did this interview, there has been no celebration for me at all because I know what they were going to do. And hmm, but see, I believed. Now, for those of you who don't remember how this story came to be a thing for this channel. When the news first broke about her lawsuit, I was looking at it. People were talking about it. They were, but not from this aspect. Not from this aspect at all. It was all very negative for the Hadleys. It was very, very negative, and it pissed me off because I knew in my heart this was on the money. I knew in my heart this was real. I knew it wasn't gas. I knew it was real from jump. And then I went and I watched a video that was getting, you know, thrown about. Welcome, Amanda. Welcome to Jag Nation. Welcome to Jaguar Country. And I was looking at the way the conversation was being framed. The conversation was definitely being framed as this girl, this crazy girl, filed a lawsuit against her mother when all her mother was trying to do was protect her. Like that was the story. Her mother was trying to protect her from this very, very evil black man. And the way it came online, it was set up specifically to give that impression and that impression only. Oh, I know. Trust me. They came after us for copywritten, the so-called copywritten photos too. Guys, welcome Set in the West.
What up? What up?
Um, yeah, they went after everybody for copywritten photos. Everyone,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
any image. What I find very interesting though is that nobody went after anybody for that god awful AI video. Nobody went after anybody for that. Hey, you've been a member for 6 months? Oh, I believe Jaguar Wright. Well, God bless you. God bless you for that IP address. Thank you.
Mm.
We believe in you for being here. 6 months. Good stuff.
Appreciate you.
Good stuff. You know, our 1 year anniversary is going to be coming up soon. And hmm, to think about how this channel started. This channel started because they took down the last one. After they took down the other one. After they took down the other one. Um, and this is our first members only monetized channel with ads and all of that. You know, it's been a long time. We have 337 people in the room. We could use that same amount of likes. I think we are about 200 short. So if we could just get
Side note.
200 people to double tap that screen. Yes?
Yeah, please hit the like button. I'm down the street from Brad Pitt house. I think he ended up getting robbed, but it didn't get on it wasn't on the news like that. Anyway,
Hmm.
side note.
And thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Hold on. Was there a super chat or just a membership? Oh no, just a
Member,
membership. Okay. Just a new
appreciate
member.
it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Um, yeah. So I just find it interesting that when people started reporting Demoree's side of the story, everyone started getting struck over images and pictures and whatever the case may be. Cat Blair said, "Tell him she said hi." I'm done.
What
I'm
happened?
done. So she said, "You said Brad Pitt's house was down the street."
Oh, she. Oh,
Yeah, she said, "Tell him she said hi."
I. He, he ain't go. Never mind. So that nigga don't know.
Anyway, so like I was saying, I didn't see anybody getting their channel struck or taken down for that video. I didn't see anyone going after that video. I didn't see anyone making a big deal about. No, that video, it was perfectly fine for that video to be blasted all over social media and all online.
Which video?
The
Which
AI
video?
video of the alleged assault proving that Javon was a terrible
Oh,
person, and
yeah,
so
yeah,
she
of
had every
course,
right
of course.
to do everything um, as she did. Well,
And
we're not one
I know
year
they
yet.
blurred it out.
September,
No,
the late September is going to be the 1 year anniversary for the Jaguar Wright Effect, but it's coming. It's coming. And it's taken. We've taken so many hits, so many slings in it. Thank you, LA Chick. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Um, like I said, it was the best conversation about the worst thing possible ever. Um, hmm, man, and it's crazy because I know what it's like to be a gaslit person. I'm a heavily gaslit person. I've been gaslit a long time. It's it didn't start slowing down until last year, and now you know my life is a lot different. Um, my life is very quarantined, very quarantined. I don't have a lot of people around me. I don't really speak to a lot of people in life. I'm very isolated because the truth is there's no real way to not be gaslit unless there's a form of isolation there, because there's so many different infiltrators. There's so many different ways for people to sneak in and create. Oh my goodness, Auntie Leah, 7 months. Whoop whoop. Yes. Fabulous. Oh, wait a minute. We do. Thank you, Rachel. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. But for me, when it comes to this story, like I said, you didn't see anybody making any big hoopla and trying to get the AI video that, I proved was poppycock and hogwash. Um, you didn't see anybody making a big deal about that taking down. But when the Hadley started producing evidence of, what had been going on to show that their lawsuit was not only legitimate, but everything that people were reporting before that was inaccurate. So, hey, what's going on, Nick? We got it, 7 months. All right. Yes, steering to the crash,
mm,
most
mm,
definitely. And that's what we did. We steered right into it, didn't we? We did not walk away from it at all. We we jumped right into that conversation. But I just find it very funny that, you know, and people need to understand something about this. Thank you, LA Chick. Thank you. People need to understand this when it comes to that AI video that went out, right? I understand this. It was the video where we did the breakdown. Matter of fact, I think I have some images just in case you guys don't remember. me let me tea, let me tea, tea, tea. You let me tea, let me tea, tea, tea. Ooh, wow, a lot of images here. No, because that would have come after this. So where it should be here. Here we go. This. Okay. You guys remember that? All right. Now, when we first got introduced to this story online, this is how we got introduced to it. Jaguar Wright says something is wrong. You better believe it, and something was wrong. Jaguar wasn't wrong, but something was wrong about this video. Something was wrong about this image. Do you guys remember? Hey, Barbara, you was all, come on now, 6 months, Jag Nation. Mm, mm, yeah. See, you hear how I'm pitched up? Woo! Oh my goodness, my voice. This not smoking thing is it's really gonna make me sound like a 10-year-old. Um, anyway, so you guys remember it. I did the breakdown and the video was getting some traction. It's sitting at like 80K or a little bit over 80K, but the truth is it should have gotten a lot higher than that. And that's when I realized they were paying attention and they started coming after the views on this channel. They started coming after the engagement on this channel. They started coming after the likes on this channel. They started coming after everything the second that we did this. Um, but let's be clear. This is how the Hadley story was first initially being broke. Oh, you remember the breakdown? So yeah, so like, let's just be clear here. Nobody made a big deal. Nobody tried to get this video taken down. Nobody tried to put up strikes and snatch this video down. Nobody did any of that. And content creator after content creator were running around sharing it, and they were saying that, oh my goodness, the daughter, she filed a lawsuit and the lawsuit is crazy. Oh my goodness, the things that she's saying about her mother. But the only reason her mother did what she did was because look at this video. Look at this video. Does everyone remember that?
Hmm.
This AI video was supposed to be the explanation for everything that Desiree Perez did to her daughter to force her to have to sue. Justice for the Hadleys, indeed. Okay? Like, I want everyone to really, really, really just take that into consideration. So, this video was supposed to be the explanation for why Desiree Perez would do so many egregious, so many crazy, so many just like off the wall things to her child, right? That was the explanation. Like, I think I heard at least 4 African American content creators literally say, oh well, the daughter says this and the daughter says that, but we can't let him off the hook just because he's black. If he's DVing her, then we can't excuse that. We can't do this. We can't do that. That was the story, and that story was perfectly okay. See, because it fit a certain narrative. And after I broke that video down, guess what? All of a sudden, everyone online stopped sharing it. Funny how that works. The second that I broke that video down, you didn't see nobody else share it, even though I did see another content creator share it. But it wasn't this version of the video. It was a whole new and improved version of the video. Ooh, that video was new and improved. There was no blurs in it. There was no nothing. They had even cropped out the numbers so you couldn't see the metadata. They did a really interesting job with that video. 3 weeks after I decimated the first one. Can you believe that? There was
Now you know
actually a new version of that video, cleaned up and sped up and paused and this and that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not even
when
gonna
you
bother
have
to say what kind. Ooh, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say that version. Well, the first version they blurred out the violence because typically on YouTube you can't put fight videos and stuff like that on YouTube. But
Mm-mm.
that version it got through. I found
Very
that peculiar.
interesting. Yeah, because yeah, you remember on Set in the West, I think you had gotten hit for it because you had put up a video. You had said, I don't condone fighting," but it was something or other, and boom, they came after you right away. So why was this video allowed? Why was this video allowed? Why did nobody get struck for sharing that one? It's funny. From what I heard, Poetic Flacco, who showed this video as well and was jumping on with the initial consensus of, oh well, well, maybe the reason why her mom did all of this is because look at this guy and we can't condone this and we can't condone that, but nobody bothered to take a really good look at it to see whether or not it was real. So YouTube is letting DV videos float through with clear stuff in it. That wasn't a problem. This video was allowed to be circulated. That wasn't a problem. Nobody got struck for it. Nobody's monetization got messed over for it. None of that. Oh, and guys, by the way, we could use about 150 more likes. Come on, we got to let people know we're here. You guys know that they fight us like crazy. It's a mobile upload. Let's make sure that we're breaking out there into the world and they know that we're here. So let's really get to the heart of that. Um, Now I want y'all to I want y'all to understand this, and this is what also makes this image even wilder. If you guys remember watching here in Defending Your Freedom, Demore and Javon didn't even know this video existed.
Mm.
This happened January what 16th, 2022. These images weren't presented to anyone until it was time for them to be hauled into court and for him to be
Oh yeah,
charged, correct?
right, right.
So we're talking 2024 or 2025 at this point. I think it was his first court hearing was in, I think all three court hearings, did they happen this year? Or did
Hmm.
one happen last year? They were all this year, right? I think. It's so much. So this video had been sitting around since 20 January of 2022, and it wasn't used against the Hadleys until late 2024, early 2025. So for about 3 years, this image was sitting around. You guys understand that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, understand this. They did not know that this video existed. You want to know why? Because they didn't have access to it. Who did have access to it? That's right. The owner of the camera. The owner of the camera. And the person who owned this footage is Desiree Perez. This is Desiree Perez's footage. This actually belongs to her.
Hmm.
This video belongs to Desiree Perez. These cameras are in the abuelo's house, in grandpa's house. Thank you. Thank you, Believe J Dub. I want y'all to think about this, like really think about what I'm saying, because I want to make it very clear why we're in this fight and why this is such a necessary thing. Okay, goodness, 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 goodness. Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. All right,
What
it's
happened?
not even letting me. I'm trying to heart and it keeps giving me hell. Like it's like if you don't tap it a certain way, like it's a really, really, really temperamental middle-aged woman who wants to get off. Like, okay, there we go.
What?
Nothing. Anyway, like I was saying,
Oh Lord.
okay, these this video that was passed around for everyone to run with online and say, hey, the lawsuit is crap because the mom has evidence that the he's a DV black guy and whoop de woo and so on and so forth. But the question is how did it make it to the public in the first place? It's her footage. This footage belongs to Desiree Perez. Now, she sent Laura Getz out to strike everyone's channel who actually showed real photos with real context, metadata secured, coming from the person who owned it, who it happened to. Demore, Javon, the body cam footage, the 911 calls, all of these things are public records and were gathered by a credible investigative team. So YouTube was honoring strikes against channels who were showing real footage, real imaging, but they didn't strike anybody for showing this DV video. Question is when did Desiree Perez start floating that out there? Because unless all of these content creators went into the abuelo's house and hacked the cameras and got inside of there, we know that Demore and Javon didn't put it out there. So how did it get out there?
Yeah. Good
Thank you, K
question.
Rock. How did it get out there? Like everyone, we all get so focused, right? We all get so focused. This DV video was being passed around all over social media. People were using it as an excuse to come down on Javon, to sit there and try to invalidate Demore's lawsuit by labeling him something that he's not, after being charged repeatedly with crimes he did not commit, and there's evidence that he did not. So I'm just curious. Desiree Perez is running around striking people's channels and having her attorney strike down people's channels for the stuff that she doesn't want them to see, but she's not equally interested how they got her private footage that only she had access to, that she used as
Right.
evidence to try to frame an innocent black man of committing crimes he didn't commit. I want y'all to really, I want, let that simmer.
And then he ended up
Hmm.
doing what? What did he do? He ended up doing about
40
40 days.
days.
But before that, he did. 2 days or something, or a day, and
Yeah, a
then
day here, a day there, and then
he
40.
got
I
arrested
know.
3 times.
Yeah.
So in combination, in total, her arrest, his arrest, her detainment at life skills, and
Man,
because she did about
3 days at
what
life
she called
skills, 14 days.
maybe
No,
14,
14 days at life skills, 3 days at the
3 days after that.
hospital. So yeah, she did about 17 days.
So they did a total of about
60
70 days
days. Yeah,
total,
60
80
days,
days.
60,
Like
70.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Something like that. Yeah, that's for over a lie, over someone trying to.
For something that's not even true. I know what that's like. I've been there, literally. I was forced to do 11 days altogether. 3 days at oh goodness, what is it? Not Parkland. Oh, oh, the other hospital. Oh goodness, why can't I think of it?
Somebody.
It's been so many.
Well, when you think about it, somebody was asking, somebody knows be asking what I was eating.
What's that?
Saltwater taffy, like an
Oh,
old person.
oh,
No,
you and your sweets.
I'm just
No,
I'm
but
just messing.
no, I was
But no,
Charleston.
you. That's
I
why I
was
said
at
that because
Charleston when I was arrested at the barbershop after being gaslit, body slammed, and assaulted by people and by police officers when I had done nothing wrong to anyone. I had not put my hands on anyone. I had not hurt anyone. Nothing. I was taken on an APAL, held for 3 days. I was pharmaceuticaled out. I was held in restraints the whole 9 yards, even though all of that had been orchestrated and gaslit by Monica Lockett, members of Carbon Nation, apparently, and my second ex husband, Gerald Johnson Jr. All of that. He was the only person that was caught on camera actually attacking someone, and he was never arrested. Nothing happened. And the person that he attacked never filed charges against him because he didn't believe in testifying against black men until it was time to testify against Eligio Bishop.
how many days in prison did you have to do over this YouTube
Oh,
gaslit lighting experience?
um, well, there was the overnights at DeSoto where I had been harassed, body slammed, all that kind of stuff. So it was 3 days there, and then I had to do 8 days. It was about three, yeah, about 11 days altogether for the incident at the barbershop. Then
Mm.
2 overnights at the Soto PD, and then I was re-hospitalized at Parkland. And Parkland, I had to do, what was it, almost 14 days there as well, because I was 4 days downstairs being pharmaceuticaled out of my mind. They kept me loaded up until they got me upstairs. They had me sitting in a chair in a gown. Um, Adrian Deontay Lewis actually has a video on his channel of me calling him, talking to him while and I'm sitting there. My name is Jaguar Wright. Jacqueline Suzette, right? I was born and whoopie whoopie woo. I am not
What?
crazy. They have, yeah, he has it. I believe he still has it on his channel now. When I called to let
Wow.
them know that I was being held at the hospital and he used it for content. Um, yeah, yeah. So that it was 4 days downstairs, and then I had to do, what was it, 10 or 11 upstairs. So I remember I got out on St. Patty's Day, which was the 17th of March. And then from there, I was preparing to move. And then when we went to go move, that's when they broke. Angela Owusu allowed Monica Lockett to pretend to be her, to say that she no longer wanted to be on my bond, to break my bond, to force me into fugitive status when they knew I was trying to move my family. We had a house that we were planning to get. We were staying at the hotel. waiting. I was waiting for some money to come through because I had an interview that I was doing, and then we were going to move into the house. I never got a chance to, we didn't even have enough time for me to take all of our things and unload them and put them in the storage unit. Like, we never had a chance to do any of that. And then, meanwhile, the reason why my mother and my son couldn't stay in Louisiana and wait for me to get out of jail or be bonded out of jail, for whatever reason, um, my second ex-husband had taken his Cash App and attached it to all of our bank accounts and drained all of the bank accounts. So there was no money for them to stay. They were forced to have to leave. And they were encouraged to do so by Patrice Monsell Garner and Adrian Deontay Lewis. So let's see. Yeah, that was, oh, and by the way, I have all of the emissions of all of these things on recording. Like, I have evidence of all that these YouTubers did to me and my life. We could use 150 more likes, by the way. Thank you. Keep tapping that screen. So here we are. You asked me, so it's about 15 days and then 11 days. So it's 21 days, 3, and then 6 weeks altogether between Bossier Max and Lou Stith, where I was extradited to in Dallas before I got bond, June 1st, 2023. So 6 weeks, and then another 3 weeks. So yeah, 9 weeks. So yeah, a month and a week, a month and a week, 2 months. I mean, 2 months and a week. That was a little less than what they did, a little bit less. Sure enough, and all for crimes I did not commit. All things staged, orchestrated, and coerced by these people who, they're bad actors. So yeah, 2023. That's what happened to me. So and when I saw the pictures that they showed my doctor, they were AI. They showed the police gave AI photos of me to the hospital of me being altered, looking crazy. Even when I was in when I was in Lou Sterrett, when they had me arrested for stealing a truck that I rented that was confiscated, where I lost all of my belongings, everything that I had that nobody can seem to find and nobody knows anything about it just disappeared poof, out of thin air. Not even Penske knows anything about it. But yet I was arrested for that in 2024. Honestly, yeah, that was when we first met. That was your first time coming to Dallas for a real life
Yeah.
interview, and yeah. You had no
You did
idea
what
you were about to
you
watch me get arrested for something that I could not have possibly done. But yeah, the guy who was harassing me, the officer there at Lou Sterrett, Officer Giles, calling me crazy eyes and laughing about the photos. They were AI'd. Wasn't even me. Just like they also lied and put, and they told the doctor when they had me admitted on a white warrant, that I was on Molly, yet none was found in my system on any of my
Mm,
blood panels. They were not able to find any pharmaceuticals or narcos or anything like that that they had been saying I was, which is funny because that's the exact same thing that they said about Demoree.
yeah.
Now, unlike me, Demoree doesn't even drink. She doesn't even have anything to do with cannabis. The only thing they found in my system is what I said, cannabis. They wouldn't find anything other than it. I never did anything more than that. I'm not an addict. And what I use for pain management. I have complex CPSD. I am a survivor. I am an SA survivor. Real rap. So once again, me getting involved in this, There were many reasons why. I understood what was going on. I had no reason to question it. The only thing I needed to see was the evidence. And they came with that by the boatload, which we shared with you. And salute to Set in the West. Like salute to Set in the West. The production, the editing, all of that, the choice and the style of filming, all of that was done by this very, 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 very competent and capable person. Um, and it was set up so there would be no questions, honestly. And even when you listen to some of the other interviews, there might be moments where you might question a thing or two here. But what we wanted to make sure of with this series is that there were no questions at all. And nothing was added. No one made it easy. We asked real questions, and we got real answers, and all of you did too. Um, you know, no one's looking for a pat on the back. No one's looking for anything, but for us to try to have to fight to get this story seen, um, and acknowledged for what it is, because it's credible journalism, it's excellent production, and it's real. It's real. This is just as good as anything that you would see on any other network doing an expose of this kind regarding such things. um and we're not done, but we have a lot more to do. We have a lot more work to do, and we're going to keep working. We're going to keep pushing it. This channel, for me, for all of us, you know, my life on YouTube up until this point has been fighting for the validity of my name, trying to prove to people that I am not what these weirdos have been saying I am, with all of their weird AI stuff and all of their taunting and all of their lying and all of their gaslighting and all of that stuff. My position here on YouTube has been fighting that and giving people a chance to meet and see the real me. But I think we've gotten past that now. I think we're past proving it. And what we decided to do with this platform, is share other people's stories as well, not just ours, not just what I go through, not just what I've been through. It's not just all about me. These things are happening to other people. And we want to be a place where people can be heard, where they can be seen, where it's done, because there's so many people that are constantly putting dubs on stuff, like constantly trying to obstruct the truth. Once again, let's just be very clear. These are the first images. These are the first images. Hmm, I know what that is. That was me. That was me. A barbershop full of men. One young man being attacked, and being attacked at that point in time for what I thought and believed was for nothing more than having association with me. You know, when the carbonation young people defected, I told them, I would be there to support them and help them in any way. I saw what they were going through, young parents, young kids. Of all of the things that people want to talk about, they don't talk about all of the times I took those people to church. I took them to my church, introduced them to people from my church, but somehow they got hooked up with that weirdo Monica Lockett, who was probably one of the biggest scam artists here on YouTube, who's always involved with some kind of craziness. The only thing I tried to do that day was protect someone. How was it me that ended up in the hospital? How was it me that ended up being labeled as crazy? How was it that my own person that I was married to was working in collusion with everyone and he was actually schizophrenic? The
Mm.
very place that they took me to, he had been in on 5 occasions. 5 occasions. He had just been there 6 months before, and he was crying and begging for me to get him out because he couldn't take being detained. And I had to sit there and I had to beg for those people, fight for those people to let him out. See, that's what I did for him as his wife. And what did he do for me? He ran over to his ex girlfriend's house to go get high and steal money out of our bank account, steal money from my company, steal money from my mom. Yeah, really, 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 really awful. They've done so much suppression of so many things, and they think because they got rid of those channels that it never happened. Because that's what they do here on YouTube. They do a bunch of terrible things, they do a bunch of horrible things, they gaslight, 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 and then they get rid of the channel and they lock up the algorithm so people can't easily find it anymore. So if you haven't grabbed it or you haven't seen it, but I want everybody to really think about that. This is Desiree Perez's personal footage. This is her personal footage. This footage was only used and only found out about and known about when it was time for them to go to court and use it to try to frame Javon Hadley with. Who's the one that gave it to the YouTubers? Who gave it to the YouTubers? Because the YouTubers didn't get it from the court. Who did they get it from? The DA? Did the attorneys give it to them? Who gave the YouTubers this footage that nobody got struck over, that there was no problem over, that there was no nothing over? See, we know for a fact that Desiree Perez owns this footage. See, if they had to put copyright strikes on this footage, that would have made sense. It was her footage. It came from her camera that she owned. But all of the channels that were struck and all of the videos that were forced to be being taken down, they came after our channel. I hope we're gonna get our channel back. I hope they're gonna remove 2 of those strikes. I do. I hope so. Because if everyone else is being restored, then we should be restored as well. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, and it's interesting because recently there was a video that was shared with me regarding someone who I was a big fan of when I was a kid. Humpty Hump, Doc G, Gregory Jacobs. And it's really interesting because a lot of the stories that they tell about him, they label him as not just a brilliant musician, but a career addict. And they blamed his relapse and, you know, fighting with his demons or whatever they wanted to call it on his demise. But he had been saying some things in his live videos. He had been he had been saying some things that sounded very familiar to me when I listened, talking about being followed, talking about the relationships in his life, the women that he was involved with, how they were plants, how people have been poisoning him. How people have been doing all kinds of things to him, watching him. His device is being attacked, things happening. Was he crazy? And I'm not saying that he wasn't using pharmaceuticals anymore. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, did they push him too far? Can we even be sure that whatever it was that he took that took his life was his choice? What happened to the people that were there doing it with him? Did they pass away too? I don't think so. But one of his last appearances when he was on the red carpet, he was talking about Tupac and about how Tupac wasn't afraid of death and about this and about that. And I know a lot of people that worked with Tupac and a lot of things that were going on. Tupac was also being followed. He was also being watched. And we also know about his legacy ties to the Black Panther Party, which we all know were being followed and were being watched. And, constant person of interest. You know what? Why don't you tap in here for a second before you have to go?
Well, I just want to say one thing. I'm gonna lighten up the mood a little bit.
Mm.
Rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, goodness. The Prince of Darkness.
No, that wasn't Ozzy Osbourne, y'all.
I know.
Just like U.S. Weekly tried to disrespect, and they said this was Malcolm Jamal Warner.
They did?
This is really, yeah. They was like, oh, Malcolm Jamal Warner died. That's Urkel.
I know it is. That's not Jamal. That's Jalil. Hold
You
on. Wait a minute. Are you serious? That's a real thing?
go. I mean, they probably changed it, but yeah, this was Us Weekly.
So, Us Weekly. Wow.
So that's why if you follow Dewan, you follow Tariq Nasheed, they were clowning. They were like, "Oh, rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne." They had David Lee Roth. They had uh, Sam Kinison. It was just like they was just like,
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If they can be that disrespectful with one of ours, why should we care about one of theirs?
"Oh, of course,
And that's
of
really
course,
sad. No, that's really sad because Jalil White is not Malcolm Jamal
not at
Warner.
all,
And
not
that's
at
the thing.
all."
And he didn't even go by Jamal. It was just Malcolm. Malcolm Jamal. It's just like they all that's so disrespectful. So Jalil White, Jamal Warner, they forgot about the Malcolm part and they just put that up. It's beyond offensive. It's beyond offensive. But then again, they're more worried about promoting the Gordon Gartrell shirt than they are what
Oh
actually
yeah,
happened to this man. You know, um,
yeah.
and it's wild because now people are talking about Anthony Mackie over on the Jimmy Fall on a Phallus show. And,
Jimmy
you know,
Fallon,
yeah, Jimmy Fallus,
Jimmy
uh,
Fallon.
and talking about, you know, and he was wearing the Gordon Gartrell, and it's starting to become ominous. Yeah, listen to me, Auntie Leah. So did I, because I knew him. I got to know him, and I hadn't talked to him in years. I cut myself off from a lot of people that were still in the industry, especially people that I cared about and that I respected, because I knew associating with them was only going to hurt them. Anybody from the industry who has anything to do with me usually ends up getting punished in some way, shape, or form. I avoided him. And then I heard that he had gotten married and he had had a baby. And I was glad that he was hiding his family from the world. But the thing is why did he feel the need to? Because he was hiding them from the industry. Let's just be very clear. And now all of a sudden, all anybody is talking about from this Rolling Stone writer who used to write on the Cosby Show, and now they're trying to promote this, and now it's all about, oh, in honor of Jamal, we're gonna sell this shirt, we're gonna sell this shirt, we're gonna sell this shirt, but who's getting the proceeds? See, these are the kind of energy vampires these people are. And I
Yep.
am so glad that I did not come forward. No, because this is what they do. They take our pain and they take our outrage and they say, oh my God, look at this. Oh, we're going to do this in their honor. We're going to do this in their honor. We're going to do this in their honor. Are you kidding me? Somebody docks the wife?
That's ridiculous. Okay. Well, wow. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
That's what I
now
was
his
saying
wife has
about
been
them
docked.
cloud chasers. That's what I say about them cloud chasers, man.
See, you know, um, hold on a second. These people playing with my
Yeah, don't say nothing. Just
name. Yeah, sweetie. So the wife was on Law and Order. Well, that's NBC.
hmm,
NBC, Cosby Show. NBC, Universal, attached to
hmm,
UMG, Universal Music Group.
hmm.
That would not, oh, they said she wasn't there when his incident happened. And they said that apparently he had been swept away with someone else, but they can't find out who that is, or they don't know who that is, and no one's reporting it. So his wife gets doxxed, but the person that he was with when he drowned doesn't. They said that the Red Cross was the one that saved him, but then they said it was innocent bystanders, good Samaritans that saved him. They said he drowned and asphyxiated on the water out there, but they didn't have to travel out into the ocean to go get him. It's interesting. Now, salute to Miss Slow Down because she was over there on her channel. I'm going to share her video. She was doing the gematria. A lot of it correlated with, someone that we work with, who's a trusted friend and ally, Ani Asoro. He did it, and the truth is all the numbers they add up, and it's wild because the second that I heard about it, I knew it was wrong. I felt it in my bones. I felt like he had been taken. Like I said, I knew Malcolm. He was very healthy. He was always in great shape, and he was a strong swimmer. I do not see him putting himself in a position where he would have been gotten, overtaken or by anything. They said his daughter was with him, but his wife wasn't with him. But nobody knows anything. The stories have changed. I don't know how many times in 72 hours. Things keep changing, keep flipping over. Yeah, it's see, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to come forward right away. I didn't want to start talking about it because then, of course, people start saying, "Oh, Jag, she's doing this and she's doing that. She said this and she said that." I'm telling y'all right now, if we have any respect for this man, if we have any respect for his life, we boycott the promotion and the sale of this shirt. We boycotted. Just like we should be boycotting Rock Nation. For real, for real. We should be boycotting Louis Vuitton. You know, a lot of people really don't pay attention to all the things that are going on. Y'all remember this young man, right? You know, when I think about all of the people that they just take and the public just stands there, you want to know what's interesting? LVMH, the Louis Vuitton Corporation, they they invest in a lot of black entertainment. You know, LVMH, they're the backers behind Fenty. We could use 200 more likes, please. They're the backers behind Fenty, Rihanna's company. They're also major shareholder investors in Rock Nation. Now, for anybody who remembers, Nipsey Hussle was unalived in front of his store. What was that, March 31st, 2019? Hmm. About 7 months after my son passed away, 9/9/18. You want to know what happened the next day? Does anybody remember what black event happened the next day? What allegedly Boule sanctioned event happened the next day? Nipsey Hussle died March 31st, 2019. Does anybody know what happened the next day? Hmm? Does anybody know what happened the next day? It was April Fool's Day. Hmm. The NAACP awarded Beyonce and Jay-Z with the President's Award in LA. And then the guy who unalived it was released on bond. The very next day, that guy didn't even stay in jail for 48 hours. He was released on $2 million bond to a privately owned shell corporation that nobody ain't had no knowledge of and still ain't heard from or of since. You want to know what they were wearing? They said that they were the best dressed there. They were wearing Louis Vuitton. A ball mane contoured down with an ultra revealing slit, and he wore a navy suit. These are the same people that fund their companies. Isn't that interesting? They don't hide it at all. They do it right in front of everybody's faces. They do it right in front of everybody's faces. Nipsey Hussle was unalive, blasted, like unbelievable, on camera. And then they flew in and they received the President's Award. wearing their master's clothing. And the day after that, the man who took Nipsey Hussle was released. $2 million bond, Shell Corporation. Why does nobody ever pay attention? Mhm. We could use another 200 likes for real. Like y'all tripping. Double tap that screen. Let's be clear who these people do business with. Let's be clear where the money comes from, and let's be clear what's going on. So now all of a sudden, the most important thing regarding Malcolm Jamal Warner is this: the Garden Gartrell, the Gordon Gartrell shirt. This is the most important thing about his career, about his life. This shirt. The writer that's sitting there pumping it and pushing it used to be a writer for the Cosby Show. Nobody made a big deal about any of the Cosby Show, anything or whatever, when they came after Bill Cosby and then they snatched it off the air. Now, all of a sudden, I tell you what, if they do a reboot of the Cosby Show, Anthony Mackie better not be playing Theo, because that would just look bad, wouldn't it? 8 months before this man passes away, you get online wearing that shirt, talking about this, and then all of a sudden he's gone, and now all anybody can talk about is his shirt. You know, he was a hell of a poet, Malcolm Jamal Warner. He was a dope ass writer, and he had a lovely voice. We talked about it in the pod. I talked about it, how I knew him as an artist, and how much he respected me as an artist, and how much I respected him. You know, you would think that rather than promoting this shirt, you would think that they would be promoting putting together a book of essays of his poetry, of his finest writings. Now, see, that would make sense. And maybe take some of his poems that were written in his own hand and auction those off privately to his fans. From one ghostwriter to another, right? Thank you. Seriously. Like, why aren't they promoting that? Why aren't they promoting any essays from him, any poems from him? That would be a proper memorial because he wrote some fantastic words, and everything was about empowering our people, empowering each other, loving each other as God would want us to. That's what he was about. He was about community. His podcast that he just recently launched, Not All Hood, which would be something that he would say, hey, we're not all hood. And he was very proud of being an upwardly mobile black man. I honestly, I felt bad for him most of the time because I knew his morals and I knew who he was. It was too good for the industry. But he's been in the industry his whole life since he was a kid. And he was damn fine at everything that he did. He should have been able to keep working. But I know he made compromises. We all did. And not everybody's like me. But like I keep telling people, if you keep taking their money, if you keep accepting their money, then they get to draw off you. They get to collect off you. As long as you take from them, they get to collect off you. And when it's looking like they ain't got much left, time to cash in the insurance policies. Time to come up with some memorabilia that has nothing to do with his legacy, that has nothing to do with his family. No, they are not like us. And even those who say that ain't like us. Some of them are just like them, whether they want to admit it or not. Worth more gone than here. That I can promise you. It's funny because of all of the people that they acknowledged and to give their condolences. One of the first people mentioned was Beyonce. What the hell did Beyonce have to do with the Cosby Show? What the hell did she have to do with Malcolm Jamal Warner? What the hell did she have to do with any of the anythings of the anything that had anything to do with this man? Nothing. So who cares? Why is she mentioned first? Yeah, yeah. Cruelty free. This is me at 23. I have walked away from God. I have walked away from a lot of things. I ran back. Go ahead. You're muted.
I'm gonna tap back in.
Got it. I'm gonna be here for a second.
Okay.
We got a lot to discuss here. What do you mean? They don't look at themselves in the mirror. All the plastic surgery and stuff that they get, they stopped seeing who they were a long time ago. People like me bother them. See, I honor the divinity inside of me. I honor what God created me. You don't see me going out of my way to change myself or to turn myself into anything or anyone else. You don't see that happening at all. You know, when I think about how many artists I've seen in my lifetime before the industry, in the industry, after the industry, that I knew in my heart were taken by duplicitous, scandalous, nefarious means. There are very few that I can honestly say that I truly believe left here naturally as God intended. You know, I heard some weasel ass dude say, oh, so what? So because somebody dies now, is they in the industry where everybody's sacrificed? And that's funny because that was somebody that knew Tupac. But when you look at the systems that they honor, I wonder who's going to make the most money off of this monstrosity. This wasn't even the most important episode that was about the character Theo. It wasn't. It was the most vain. Does anybody remember what the Gordon Gartrell episode was all about? Does anybody remember that? He wanted to impress a girl and he had to get this shirt because this shirt, that was going to be the thing that got him the girl, right? Designer clothes. They had to have it, right? The shoes, it's got to be the shoes or the shirt. That's what this was all about. And guess what? Claire and Heathcliff Huxtable, they wasn't trying to hear it. They wasn't spending all that crazy money on no shirt. That girl better like you for yourself. She better like you for you. So then his sister came in and she said, I can sew. I can make you that shirt. All you got to do is get the material. Listen to me. That was a great episode too. But I can think of two other episodes that were really important where the story revolved around him. The one when he was complaining about money and wants and needs, and they're like, you really don't appreciate your life? So they took everything out of his room and then they put price tags on it. And if he wanted to get all of his belongings back, he had to find a way to earn it. You want to know? It's funny. I did something similar like that with my kids when they were growing up. Giovanni was he wanted to know if we were going to go to Disney World for the summer for summer break and whoopie whoopie woo. And I'm like, I don't know if we're going to have the money this year. Got a lot of bills. And this was right around the time when I was making the decision to step away from the industry. And they first started putting the squeeze and the clap down on my money because that's the first thing they do. The second that you walk away, you better have something else brewing. You better have something else going because if you're not going to do that, they put the clap down on you, you know, and then they leave you working at Trader Joe's like they did another member of the cast. What's his name? Mr. Owens, who played the eldest daughter's husband. Hey, Michael, thank you. What you talking? You know, I swear to God, they make it so hard. Popping in and out. Odell has a live premiere running same time. Hit those. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. It's all out on Front Street. Our podcast over there. Thank you. Um, but no, seriously, you know, that episode where he had to earn everything back and learn the value of the dollar did the same thing. Giovanni was like, "Oh, well, I want to go to. Why can't we go to Disney World and whoopie whoopie woo and yada yada yada?" And I said to him, "Well, it's very simple." So I took all of the bills that we had and I put them out all over the table and I gave him a calculator and I said, "We're probably going to need," and this was back in the early 2000s. I said, "We're probably going to need like to go and have a good time for a few days, like five grand. If you can find a way," I was like, "This is the number of money that we have to pay all of the bills. And if you can find $5,000 and get all of the bills paid, we can go. Or we can go bowling as many times as you want. We can go to the movie theater as many times as you want. We can go to the arcade. We can go kart racing. We can do a lot of things right here where we live. But if we got to go away, take the whole family, get hotel suites, buy plane tickets, buy packages, and do all of that, if you can find $5,000, we'll go." And then he was sitting at that table for hours trying to figure it out, trying to find a way. And every bill on that table was things that everyone needed, the family needed, everything, all of it. And yeah, we went to we went bowling a lot and we went to the pool hall a lot during the day and we did a bunch of other things locally. I kept my word and we didn't go to Disney World. Principles like that, stuff that they don't teach people anymore. Stuff that they do not teach people anymore, stuff that families don't make important anymore. Another great Cosby episode that I remember with Theo when he was in school and he was struggling in school, and they were trying to figure out why he was struggling in school. Thank you for that. my firstborn. He'll be 32 this year. Hmm. It'll be 7 years since he passed away. Yeah, the dyslexia episode. And guess what? Me too. And they was, but it was great because, you were you big dummy and this and that, and it wasn't that at all. It was just he had a learning disability that made him learn differently. And then once he was able to get help and to do all of those things, he stopped struggling in school. He was doing great. As he progressed on and went to college and all of that on the Cosby Show. There are so many people. The list. Exactly, Myrna. The list. There are so many other things that we could celebrate other than the shirt. A shirt. And yet that's all anybody's talking about. It's disgusting. And salute to Miss Lowdown and other content creators that are highlighting what's really going on here, why they're not being honest. Thank y'all for being first because I'm sick and tired of being first because every time I'm first, all people want to do is try to prove me wrong. And then when they find out I'm right, then all they want to do is try to find out how I know the things that I know or try to find a way to disprove this and disprove that. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. But doxing that man's family when he didn't want anybody knowing who his family was, not being able to keep their identity safe in his death like he did in his life, that's just too much. And I'm not going to say the name of the person that did it because this person has always tried to convince people that they care and that they this and that they that. But for real, it's really starting to look like grave robbing to me. Like for real, it's starting to look like grave robbing to me. It's starting to look really disgusting. It's starting to look really nasty. Um, I'm just trying to figure out how you go from one case to another so fast when you still haven't solved that one. I don't know. I don't know. I knew Angie, but me and Malcolm were friends. Um, and if he wanted to keep his private life private, then it should be, just like TMZ digging up the imagery of him on his way to Costa Rica and posting up the last moments of him before he went and passed away, like just trying to grab onto all of that. Honestly, it's starting to make me, it's making me want to vomit. It is. It's making me want to vomit. It's beyond disingenuous. When's the last time they covered anything of Malcolm Jamal Warner, of any of the projects? He had that new podcast coming out. How many of these people was promoting that, saying, oh yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner, like he did a whole interview with Keisha Knight Pulliam, and I didn't see anybody talking about that. Not at all. We should be boycotting TMZ too. Just like there should be no oh, Vlad finally apologized to Minister Farrakhan so we can watch him again and you can go and interview with him again so that he can go back to setting people up. Like, no, no, no. We need to stop. We need to stop supporting these people because they have a very demonic agenda. It's disgusting what they're doing. Sitting there playing with people's lives and their deaths. It's disgusting. And then reporting all of the wrong things. Like there's so many gaslighting content creators snatching up all the little pieces of him since the Diddy train done dried up. He's worse than a culture vulture. He's worse than that. That doesn't even do it justice what he is. He's worse than that. And the means in which he does the things that he does are more disgusting than that. I wanted to acknowledge it. Yeah, yeah. Ozzy Osbourne's gone too. The Prince of Darkness. It's funny how that happened. First Malcolm and then Ozzy. I wonder if there's going to be another. I remember when Angie passed away. I know there were some people that were hoping that I was going to be gone too, but they cashed out Dwayne Wiggins, who was one of the founding members of Tony, and owner of the brand. I don't think people understand me when I say this evil business. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to let Set in the West talk to y'all about the shirts, because I know somebody had called in. I think they had asked for a refund. There was some issues with the shirt maker. He was taking a little bit of time, but I think he's finally on it. Not quite sure. The only thing we can do is pay the money and hope that they manufacture it so we can ship it out as soon as we hear. We're gonna get it together, little by little. Y'all keep forgetting we are a small. But Ozzy Osbourne, I wouldn't be surprised if they cashed him in too. Wouldn't be surprised. But that was his game. He was down with the devil's game. He was. And I'm not condemning him. I'm not doing anything. But when you joke around and you play with dark magic like that, the name of his group was called Black Sabbath. I used to love Black Sabbath until I found out what it meant when I was young. And then after that, I stopped listening altogether. It was antichrist. It was anti-God. It was anti-light. It was all dark, all deviltry, all of that. That wasn't no joke. Him, you know, sacrificing animals live on stage, and, you know, the stuff in your veins dripping all over his face and all that. That was all real. And we humanize a lot of things. We humanize a lot of things. We do. We say, oh, it's just entertainment. Oh, it's just art. Oh, it's just this. But no, it's more than that. We all know it is. We know what these people are. We know, and we should not be fooled. We can't be fooled. Like you can't allow yourself to believe that these things are innocent when they're not, because they're not. They're not innocent at all. Not at all. Um, if I'm sitting there pretending, like if I'm pretending like I don't know that something that does good spiritual harm, does harm, then that's what I'm about, you know? Like that's how they get us. They get us to play on that line. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody can say, "Oh, well, I took the condom off because I was in love with her." And you got HIV because of that. You made that choice. You can like you know what I mean? Like you can't sit up there and say, "Oh, well, the only reason I did it was, oh, well, it was just art," or "Oh, well, it was just this," or "Oh, well, it was just that." I know plenty of people that sit around and like the thing Candyman. I was never the one to sit there and just say it over and over again. Oh, it's harmless. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna find out. I'm not gonna find out. I'm just gonna leave that alone. He beat the devil at a liquor contest. I, once again, I remember when I walked away from God, and I remember when I ran back. And I'm gonna tell you this right now: the devil is real. All of this demonic stuff that they got going on out here in these streets, it's real. And if you play with it, what you live by, that's what it is. I don't ever remember hearing him say that he gave his life back to Christ. I don't ever remember them, admonishing any of the demonry and any of the devilish ways. I don't remember any of that. And it's not my place. What I will say regarding Ozzy Osbourne is that I hope before it was too late, he gave his life to Christ because it only gets darker on the other side of that demon game. It only gets darker. So yeah, we die by what we live by. Period. And it's ain't nothing you can do about that. I guess and it's sad because it's not. This isn't me, and that's the hardest thing because I'm sitting here and I'm looking. Um, I'm gonna look more into that, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I think that there's a lot of misdirection and distraction built around that to try to take away from some other things that are happening in the backdrop. Like there's going to be a lot of distraction. There's going to be a lot of crazy things going on. And with all of the lawsuits and everything, don't nobody want to talk about that lawsuit with Ashley Parham and why I got mentioned in it, and why they tried to defame my character, and why they tried to make me look crazy. You know, we got to do better. We got to do better. But long and short, at the end of the day, it's funny. We lost one for the light and we lost one for the dark. There, boom, back to back. I was thinking about that. I know I'm a threat to the industry. I know because I know what they are and I know what they do. And I'm not going to lie about it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't exist. That's exactly why this story is so important because all of the money that the public gives to these companies and these corporations, these music industries and such, all of it. Yeah, trust me, DMX, that story was terrible. I had to go off grid after that, after I got that information from that nurse. She sent it to Nosy Ho to give to me. And they came for me after that. Hmm. Mm. They take all of that money that the public gives them and they use it to hurt and harm good and innocent people who aren't interested in their lifestyle, who's not interested in what they got going on, who just want to live decent, God fearing lives. The one thing that I will say I love most about episode 4 is where we began, because we began with faith. where her faith resided. Hmm. Sweetheart, I would not be surprised if they punched his ticket as well. I would not be surprised. Life insurance policies are life insurance policies. You understand? And when they're ready to cash in, they're ready to cash in. Why do you think those people are so angry about me getting away? Trust me, after all of the uproar and all of the everything, man, do you know how much money they would love to make off of me? Take my music, repurpose it, do this, do that. Because, see, they owe me my masters back legally. They owe me my masters back. They owe me a lot of money. The industry does. So instead, they go out of their way to try to fight me and to try to beat me down. So I can't fight to get back what they owe me. I have no doubt in my mind that they owe Nicki Minaj money. They know they owe everybody money, honey. They owe everybody money. They steal from everyone. The question is, who had Malcolm Jamal Warner insured? How much money are they going to collect off of him? I hope people are waking up. I hope people are seeing this for what it is. But um, while it's just us, because I think Set in the West is going to come back. I wouldn't know. I couldn't even tell you. I really don't pay, I'm not paying attention to pop culture right now. I'm not paying attention to anything that has anything to do with pop culture right now. I don't want to be distracted by it. I want to be able to stay focused on what matters to me. Understand this. Anybody that's supporting Demoree Hadley in in this moment in time right now has my respect because she needs all of the support and the advocacy that she can get, but that has nothing to do with me. It really doesn't. Those are industry matters. I walked away from the industry. See, that's the difference between me and a lot of entertainers in the industry. I know exactly what it is and I know exactly what's hitting for. There's no way you're going to stay inside of that system and win. Who knows if you can win outside of it? I've been fighting them for 15 years, but I believe in God, see. And I believe that whatever is meant for me, God is going to make sure I get it because God can even make your enemies pay you back what they owe you. But that's the only way I'll accept it. I'm not going to pander to them. I'm not going to go back and forth with them. I'm not going to fight with them. Not in that way. I'm going to fight in the way that matters. I'm going to wake up every mind. I'm going to wake up every soul. I'm going to create access for people to see that there can be another way. There should be another way. You got to ask yourself what kind of cartel foolishness they got going on. There's a video that I saw, young reporter named Catalina Schultz, spelled the old Slavic way, European way. Um, and she's a reporter. She's Canadian, 24 years old, really smart girl. I'm gonna pray for her. Yeah, we're gonna stare into the crash and we're gonna let God prove to the devil who's really in control. Yeah, I'm not interested in industry squabbles. I can't get involved in it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the truth is I'll give y'all this one. Why don't people start asking SZA why she's doing everything that she's doing? Because the truth is, it's really none of her business. See, that's the only thing that I would have to say about that. It don't make no sense for me for SZA to be getting involved in any of this. Not at all. But it does make sense when you think about what the chatter is behind the scenes. The Top Dog Entertainment was coached into getting Kendrick Lamar, into using him as the Trojan horse to take down Drake, to settle the beef between him and Roc Nation. See, that's the word on the street. When Kendrick got offered the Super Bowl, I was very happy for him. I thought he was going full throttle against the evil. I was also a little nervous for him because I saw where the beef was. And I saw, I've been around for a long time. So I remember when the East Coast, West Coast thing started between Biggie and Pac. And I remember how that whole thing went. I'm like, wow, are they trying to recreate this moment in time? Are they really trying to do that? Oh, and by the way, for those who aren't, let me get over here right quick and let me grab this link to Set in the West. Back up until we get the original channel back up and running, which I do believe is going to happen. And I declare it to be so in the name of Yeshua. Asheo. It would be kind of crazy if everybody else got their channels back and got their stuff back and we didn't. That would be kind of crazy. But in the meantime, in between time, let's get over here and we're going to drop the link in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna repin this comment here. Okay, there we go. And please don't forget to click that link and subscribe, just in case you want to get over there and hear the podcast all out on Front Street, because we do that there and then on all of our other platforms as well. And I think we're going to keep going. I think we're going to have to do a deeper dive on everything that we talked about on the podcast today. We're kind of touching on some of it here, but that would be interesting. It would be very interesting to see what Sloan Bella has to say about my old friend Malcolm. Good man. It's amazing that he survived the industry as long as he did. Truth is, not too many people do that. But like I was saying regarding Super Bowl and the chaos and all of that that was put together, it's funny. Kendrick's getting the money now. He's getting the respect. He's getting a lot that he wasn't getting before. Took SZA out on the road with him. SZA was kind of getting passed over in the game as well. There was a lot going on. But see, people keep forgetting that Punch, who's Top's right hand guy, is like this with the Jigga Man. There's so many of these people that are supposed to be entities that stand on their own. But for real, they're just all working in collusion. I guess that's why everybody was so afraid about Diddy and his case and that word RICO. Hmm. A lot of collusion going on. A lot of really interesting things. going on. A lot of people, one hand washing the other going on. But when you think about it, the Not Like Us movement and everything that he said about Drake, why is Drake the only person he said it about? And why ain't he calling out everybody else? It was a very big movement, right? Not like us, not this, not that. But there was no investigation that went into Drake. There was no investigation that went into any of the claims. There was no further investigation about anything. It was just a shot, boom, and that was that. When someone starts fighting against the establishment and going hard after the bad guys and doing all of those things, a shot in the dark at one person is not enough. And then to be rewarded by someone who is an adversary of the very person that you went against with the Super Bowl, and then you get the tour, and yeah, it's starting to look like it was nothing more than a distraction to find a way to get Drake out of the way, and then you got all of this stuff that's going on, which is why I said what I had to say regarding the attorney going after Demoree for comments being made online saying that Demoree is getting people online to come after her and attack her and to do this and do that. No, people have been coming at Rock Nation for quite a little while regarding you can't be blaming everybody's dislike and disdain on one person. You can't do that, which is why I sit where I sit. But understand this, Punch is one of the Jigga Man's top guys, and he manages SZA. So we're supposed to believe that Punch ain't tell her to go out there on a dummy mission and go up against Nicki on behalf of his friend. I mean, it's not like any of them are going to admit that they do this, but they do this all the time. Anytime any of these bigger guys have a problem, they get their artists to go after each other and then they make money off of the beef. That's what they do. Yeah, a whole lot of lawsuits, whole lot of this, whole lot of that. What happened to the lawsuits between the Jigga Man and his wife and Rihanna last year? What happened to the lawsuit over Vado between Nisa and Mary J. Blige? Like, what happened? What happened to all of these things? Exactly. Exactly. We got 444 in the building. Interesting. And thank you for the 612 likes. We could use more because I know there's more people here. It's not the same amount of people that put these likes up before. Let's keep it going. But seriously, though, I mean, SZA's done a lot in music. The truth is that SZA's been a crazy ghostwriter for a lot of people. She did a lot for Rihanna, a lot. It's just a shame because all these people get used. They all get used and they all get used to do someone else's bidding. Hmm. It's just funny because the more I look, there's a lot of attachment. Malcolm he was trying to, but once again, if you try to do it within the system, as long as you're drawing from the system, they get to punch your ticket. They get to punch your ticket. That's why you have to remove yourself completely from them. You have to remove yourself completely from them. And that's wild because that means you're choosing to be out in the cold. You're choosing the hardest possible path. But thank you, ACG. But see, when you believe in God and when you know that God is real, He's going to give you what He wants you to have when it's time for you to have it. I could be upset You would think after everything that I've done and everything that I keep showing you, that there would be more people that would be brave enough. But do you know how many people are afraid to invest in our company? Do you know how many people are afraid to back us up in any way? Because they don't want to be attacked. They don't want to be gone after. They don't want to have any of that happening. Just got to wait on God. You got to wait on Him. You got to wait on what He's going to give you. Yeah, there is no outcome between Mary J. Blige and Misa. It was all distractions. See, like I told you, domino, and the rest of them will fall. That's what that trial was all about. Holding that, just like there was no outcome between the Rihanna Carter lawsuits. They all still trying to pretend like they friends. It's just the amount of lies and the amount of chaos and all of the hurt. But they do it all to get your dollar. All of this is done to drain your money from you. Because the truth is they wouldn't be able to do the things that they do if you boycotted their concerts, if you boycotted their products, if you boycotted, if you shut these companies down, there wouldn't be enough money. I guarantee you there would not be enough money for Desiree Perez to be doing what she's doing at Demoree and Javon. There wouldn't even be enough. They're struggling now. They're struggling hard, whether they want to admit it or not, whether they want to tell the truth about it or not. They are. Please believe me. Your energy is currency, and your money is your energy. See, you put your dollars wherever your energy. See, that's how that works. How many of us should be putting our energy in more positive places? How many of us are putting our energy in negative places and giving the ability for negativity to grow? You know, I'm not saying that I don't like fine things. I'm not saying that I don't like, pretty things. I'm not saying that I don't like. It's just, to me, when it gets to the point where things become more important than people, when the value of things, the things that you have, become more important than the value of your character. Because I don't care how much money you have, I don't care how many nice clothes you have, I don't care how many great cars you have. If you're a shit ass person, you're just a shit ass person. You know, you have no idea how many wealthy people that I've known throughout the years and how many great people that I thought were great. No, they had this and they had that. And then I go and spend some time around them and realize they're some of the most disgusting human beings I've ever met in my life. Don't want to be nothing like them. Don't want to have nothing to do with them. Trifling, dirty, nasty. Do anything to get over on people. And the truth is, that's for real what being rich is all about. For most of it. It is. How many people can you shit on? How many people can you tear apart? How many people can you destroy? The best, the biggest is the person who's destroyed the most people and done it without caring. That's the kind of stuff that the devil does. Who's aspiring to be like the devil? Certainly not I. Certainly not I. And trust me, when I had my devil days, there were few that could outdo me. But when it came time for me to really choose where I stood, chose God. See, I am a living example that you can walk away. Because see, there's a lot of people that stay in the game because they just think that there's no getting out. A lot of people. Hey, admin, what you talking about? What is going on? You said in New York. Oh well, 9 times out of 10, he was either told to shut up or got paid to. You know, you gotta understand. We have to create our own networks. We have to create our own everything. Oh, I just saw it. We're five more to we need 5 more to get to 500. Yay. And then that means we're 505 away from your 1K. And everyone was over there
One
flashing their
K.
we you gotta get to at least 1K.
Oh, you said I'm like I still need more than five for 1K. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
if
need
y'all could
505. But
like
we're
and
five we're
subscribe.
5 away from the five, yeah. Well, I pinned it here in the chat. They're asking why people
Appreciate
are so
it.
quiet, and they're asking about who's the pawn and who's the
Why
rook
is
and
people
who's the
quiet about
knight.
what?
Well, admin just asked what's going on with Ebro and Rosenberg at Hot 97 in New York. Ebro used to call Charlemagne the fraud a coon. I thought Ebro was supposed to be a conscious Oakland jockey. Why is he so quiet? My response was he's either too scared to speak up or he was paid to shut up.
Yeah, they're pretty much all on the whole. The thing is they understand that the American psyche, when it comes to news or just the mindset, after 72 hours, it forgets. But it's been a
Just like I
blitz of just it's been a blitz of Rock
they're
Nation
saying
this, Rock Nation that.
they're saying you're doing an extreme close up.
Oh well, who got a complaint?
That's Nick. He's sitting there playing with you.
I know. Um, yeah, they have paid who they need to pay, and that's why I'm glad Nessa is speaking up. She's in media and she's saying the pertinent stuff. We got people in the culture that ain't even for the culture; they in it for themselves. And you know, who was that story that you said it just kind of disappeared? Somebody had a story out there and then it just kind of went away
Which
magically.
one?
Well, there's a lot. Um, was it? It wasn't. Was it Charlemagne?
Yeah. He had a little person case and a couple other people had a little person case.
Yeah, I wonder what goes on behind the scenes and the backdrops as far as like why isn't justice administered to certain people and why is it an overkill for others?
I mean, they're doing what they're doing. Right now, they're throwing so many foolish stories every which way possible. They're throwing this, they're throwing that, they're throwing this, they're throwing that. They already know. They already know they won't be able to get people to be distracted and not know and not care. Now, in the midst of all of this with Malcolm Jamal Warner, now all of a sudden it's all of this concern about, oh, this one owes money and that one owes money and this one is broken, that one is broken, yada 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 yada. Ah, we really got to create our own media. We do, because trying to depend on these people, to tell the truth about anything, it's we're fools for listening. The truth is, because they've made it very clear that all they're going to do is lie. They've made that very clear. They have no intention in telling us the truth. They have no intention in giving us the real. They have no intention. Matter of fact, their only intention is to say what they need to say to get you to keep showing up so that they can keep misleading you. And that's why we say, when it comes to here, when it comes to our sector, when it comes to our algorithms, let's keep the truth line tight. Because the less we listen and the more we focus on what it is that we need to pay attention to and what it is we need to see, the better off our minds are going to be. I want you to think about the amount of thumbnails that we keep seeing and the blitz. You think that's a coincidence? You think that's an accident? You know, it's funny when you get to a certain amount of subscribers, you're supposed to get a Google manager. I ain't got one.
Hmm.
Where's my Google manager?
Hmm.
Right? They issue you a Google manager, which in my opinion ain't nothing more than a Google handler to
Right.
tell you what they want you to talk about, when they want you to talk about it, when you can make max dollar at max time. So this way they can use YouTube to influence Google so Google can throw rocks from YouTube and hide its hands. That's really what it's looking like.
When YouTube first started out, it was not part of Google. That man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
It was not a
Now it's
part of
just
Google. Hmm.
hmm,
And Google is a very powerful search engine, a global search engine. But you know, that's what it is. That's what we got going on. So,
you know what else we got going on? They about to have the pregnancy test where when the women they urinate on it, it's going to if it's positive, it's going to show the picture of the baby daddy, like who the father is. So just letting y'all know.
yeah, where'd you hear that on Google?
Yep. it was on it was on A2 Turn channel.
I don't want to hear about that. You know,
It's a joke.
I know it is. I know it is. Please
Just
don't
like
give
your
those
channel.
people. Please don't give those people any reason to mention me about
No,
anything
you're right.
at
You're right.
all. Like
Y'all holler at me. Just like what I said about Noah Jacob. Y'all can come holler at me. You ain't gotta get that jag. Talk to me.
I mean, Noah Jacob, they can say whatever they want to say. You know, I really don't care.
Did you see
I
that?
don't
Did you see
care.
you saw well, you saw the picture. You saw the crazed fan who low key threatened you, said someone's gonna unalive you.
Say what?
Oh, you obviously don't be looking at my stuff.
What do you mean I don't be looking at your stuff? What happened? What did I
Okay,
miss?
I did a video this morning.
Yeah, I know you did a
Uh,
video.
and I showed the issue that went on with Noah Jacob, the grievance that he had, the fake outrage he had, and how he said you were sending people to come for him. The reality is, he actually had a fan, someone named Irene, hit up your website and left you a threatening message, and I put it in that video. It's on my channel.
Wait a minute. What did she say on the website?
Okay, hold on 1 second, because now I got to get up and actually
You might want a green
pull it up.
screen. You might want a green screen
Why?
because there's too much of your background in the background.
Nobody saw nothing in my background.
Okay.
So this is what she had to say. She
Okay.
said, Jag, you disrespected Noah Jacobs. And she put a question mark. What an
Mm-hmm.
evil person you are.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch all your videos with an
Mm-hmm.
exclamation point. No more in all caps.
Okay.
Noah is a beautiful, honest, and Noah is a beautiful, honest, and truly believes in God.
Yeah.
Someone will alive you, what they meant to say, unalive you, if you keep going the evil way you are.
Oh, really?
I'm Australian and I've been watching a lot on YouTube. And I
Mm-hmm.
think not you are, but you're either on something or
Mm.
you're losing your stupid mind. I'll
Mm.
never watch. I will never ever will watch you in any video on YouTube after the way you treated Noah Jacobs.
Okay.
This
And
is
this
this
is
is a real message on your website.
so this message was left on my website from someone who's a supporter of a Christian content
Of
creator.
a Christian content creator, correct?
That says it all.
I told him in my video. I said, "Go. You need to go manage your flock." I said, "Cause you." I said, "You out of pocket." That's the title of it. If y'all go
you
to my
wanna
channel, I
you wanna know what's
I, I
funny
went in
though?
on him. I didn't even cuss him out. I didn't cuss out. I didn't cuss him out until the end.
No,
But go ahead.
this is what's funny though. I called him out for something that I should have called him out for. I called him out
Yeah,
for clickbaiting. I called him out for spreading fear. I called him out for spreading gossip. He's supposed to be a Christian content creator. He's not supposed to be doing that. He admitted it himself that he didn't even remember what he had even said in it, but he shared it, and that the title was a solid clickbait title. So
he
I'm
said
just
it.
going to call his followers clickbait Christians.
Clickbait Christians. Wow, that's
Um,
wow. That's
because
a good one. We need to fucking yeah.
it's like
Clickbait.
what you said his mixtape
Clickbait
is completely.
Christianity.
Listen to me. All of them guys, all of those so-called Christian content creators, they all want to be Christian rappers, and all of them
Oh
suck.
wait, he got a mixtape too. Oh, he
No,
rap too. Oh
yeah,
shit.
they're all rappers, and they use
Oh
their channels to promote their so-called Christian rap. And
wow.
the truth is, I can out rhyme every last one of them.
How
And the
about we
only
go on?
reason I'm just saying, no, it's
We go
just
on
look. No, my thing is nine times out of ten, and this is the thing: be offended if you want to be offended. He used my name to get clicks and views, and I took a shot at him, and that's that. It's just that simple. See, this is the thing. If anybody watched, you watched all of my videos and no more and whoopty whoopty woo. Okay, that's the one person who feels that way. I did we get a lot of those emails, or we
no, you just
just
got
got
one.
that
I ain't gonna
one?
front. It was just one. It was just one.
So there we go. And that's the thing. I'm sending people after what? No, it's very simple. I ask people all the time, if you see things that are not true, if you see things that are not real, if you see things that are lies that are promoting people, do you know how many people watch and see titles like that and think that something's wrong, think that something happened?
Hmm.
Like he didn't say allegedly, he didn't say maybe. No, the title said that I was roughed up and almost unalive by hitmen from Diddy. That's what
Yeah,
the title said. Not true. Not at all. And it's just as disrespectful as the videos that said that I was deceased. It's just as disrespectful as the AI pictures that they had with me with a black eye, with a cut on my face, and all of this stuff that people put up online. People have been doing this stuff. And if that person, if Irene, if you truly watched every video with me in it, then you would know that all of that stuff is out there. And the truth is, if you were ever truly a supporter, you should have been the one to call Noah Jacobs out on it. His
Yeah.
subscribers should have called him out on it. Like, stop. Stop sitting here capping. Stop sitting here playing and stop sitting here acting like y'all care. No, what you do care about are your little cults, your little cult fan bases, your little cult this and your little cult that. Like, I'm
Well,
not going to sit up there.
he trying to get downloads for his mixtape. That's crazy.
Listen to me. And guess what? God bless him. I hope there's something real on it. You know what I mean? Like you busy, you got a million subscribers and you trying to get people to buy mixtape. I actually have whole albums. I have a whole catalog, unreleased music. Brilliant, great. We are not the same. We are not the same. And what you should do as a Christian is tell your people to not go after people because that's very unchristian like. All I said was, is if you see a video that is lying or slandering or misleading in any way, I suggest that everyone report it because the truth is, community guidelines on this app are not adhered to at all. And guess what? We
Nah.
can't expect them to do anything until we do it. No one
Yep.
should just be able to put up a video saying that someone was almost unalived or saying that someone was assaulted when it never happened. It's fear mongering. That's exactly what it is. It's fear mongering, and they speak about fear mongering in the Bible that y'all say y'all love so much, that you say you care about so much. Fear mongering is something that is very frowned upon by God.
It sure is.
But going up against you is like going up against God. Well, good luck with your one faithful disciple that took the time to come to my website to say that they was okay. You one person. You're one
But
person
that's
that's
all it
never gonna
takes is
watch me again.
one. It takes one crazy person. I mean, I hate to say it. It takes one crazy person like that. And that's what I told him. I said, y'all go check out my video because I just was kind of just
Yeah.
putting it down. I said, some people may not think they're leaders, but if you have a following like that, you have to consider yourself a leader. You need to uh, look at yourself in a leadership position. You need to be accountable for what it is you put out, and you need to uh, your morals. I'm not going to tell nobody what morals they need to have, but I'm going to just say your morals need to be more aligned with what your group is about. So if you already put yourself as a Christian, and then he said, "Oh, I've already forgive you." I mean, he's just being a pompous.
And guess what?
Anyway,
I forgive him too. I forgive him for lying to his very large platform and sharing information that something that had not happened to me happened to me. I forgive you as well, kid. Like y'all gotta stop
yeah,
playing with this God thing.
ridiculous.
Because the truth
It's
is,
ridiculous.
y'all can't come up against me. Y'all cannot come up against me. Do yourself a
You're
favor.
not the
Find a comparable something. You know what I mean? Over here, right now, we're focused on getting justice for the Hadleys. What are you focused on getting justice for, other than your
Well, I'm gonna tell
AdSense
you
check?
what. I'm gonna tell you what, because I had a Christian, so-called quote unquote Christian friend, and he follows Truth Is as well, and he's like, "Oh, you heard about Jaguar? I heard she's a witch." I said, "Dude, she's not a witch. What's going on here?" And then so that's what I'm saying. You got to be mindful, and that's why even in the beginning of the year, remember when I put a kibosh to those Twitter lives? They was already starting. They were starting saying, "Oh, you said this and you did this and you said,"
Never happened.
yeah.
Never happened.
But
But this is the thing. No, but this is the thing. For all of that talk and all of that so-called yakety yak 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 yak, it ain't really give me no motion. This wasn't no beef. This was nothing. It's nothing. I got nothing from this. So yeah, I forgive you, you forgive me, and whoopty whoopty woo, and whatever. We good. But my point is, when it comes down to it, people really just need to start living up to what they say they are. They just really need to
bingo,
start
bingo.
representing and being what they say they are. If all you're running is a YouTube popularity contest and all you're really trying to do is sell your mixtape or do to this or do to that and make some money so you can play video games and then make a couple of videos and go live, whatever the case may be. I want everybody to really pay attention to what this construct is looking like, because a lot of the incentives and a lot of the stuff that they're giving and the things that they're doing, it's to keep you online, to keep you showing up, to keep you there. Yeah, you're making a couple of dollars, but the data that they're collecting off of you and the intel that they're getting off of you is
Mm-hmm.
priceless.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
able to go and look at multiple accounts speaking from the same area. And with the kind of technology that they use, they're able to have panoramic views of everything that's happening in a certain area. I mean, the truth is, YouTube has become one of the best surveillance platforms in the world. First class. Anybody can come in and look and see what's happening in a certain city, what's happening in a certain region, what's happening in a certain place. You know, you
What?
sitting here online doing everything that you're doing, but are you sure you know what's really going on? Like when we come online for a purpose. It's not just to make money, and it's
Yeah.
not for a popularity contest, and it's not so we can sit around and figure out who we gonna pick on and who we gonna do this and who we gonna do that. Yeah, have we beefed? Yeah. Have we gone back and forth? Have we had our battles and all of that stuff? Yeah, but mostly to get people away from us, to get people away from our platform. We're trying to create another space here. You know, like I said, our goal as it stands right now in this first year is to get to 100,000 subscribers, 1,000 members. That's enough to make sure that we can propel forward and keep doing everything that we do. You know, we do not ask for a lot of donations. We're not trying to push a whole bunch of stuff down your throats all the time. But when we do share something with you, it is genuine. It is from our hearts. We get to the things that we can get to as soon as we possibly can. You know, it's wild because that whole witch thing, nobody really paid attention. It was a trap. I set it as a trap to see who was going to run with it. And a lot of people couldn't wait to run with it. It's funny. You give somebody just a little something, boom, they go with it. All I simply said was, it takes one to know one. That didn't mean I meant I was a witch. That simply means it takes one to know one. And I have known a few witches, and I've spent time with them. They tried to convince me how great a witch I would be if I decided to step into the bad side. Yeah, they did. And I said no. But they were very able to show me exactly who was. I learned a lot. You'd be surprised at how many people are actively involved in witchcraft
Mm-hmm.
in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
actively
Mm-hmm.
involved in witchcraft. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and do it all the time. They're doing it right out there in the open. I want you to look at how many times Cardi B is dressed in her checkerboard print, witchcraft. Megan
And
Thee
that's lightweight.
Stallion, witchcraft. All of it, all of these things have very, very, very satanic. an organized demonic connotation and purpose and meaning. And it's all to mesmerize you. You know, that's the thing. It's all of the ignorance. It really is. It's really all of the ignorance. Um, People refusing to learn. Of course, I know what witchcraft is. Of course, I know what warlocks are. Of course, I know what witches are. Of course, I know all of these things. I watched it happening before me, in front of me. I watched people using it. I watched people try to use it on me. I had to get away because I saw what it was. It's funny. I walked away from God because I thought He abandoned me because of all of the terrible things that human beings did to me, rather than seeing it for what it really was. He had protected me. Because the truth is I should have been out of here so many times. Humanity had so many negative plans for me, to end me, to get rid of me, to remove me, and He kept me. But see, as a human being, I was stuck in my feelings. I was stuck in my emotions, my night terrors, the PTSD, the trauma, the triggering, not letting it go so that God could take over and create a new me. And I walked
Mm-hmm.
away from God and I stepped into the industry. And I thought I was going to be able to wipe it all away that way, being successful and having all of the things that they said was supposed to make you feel better and make you be better and all of these things and whoop de woo. And guess what I found out? Nope. The only thing I was opening myself up for was a lot more of what I already had with better scenery. That was it. All of the terrible things that happened to me before, they happened. They happened to me again. But rather than a row house in the hood, it was a hotel suite. Same thing. You know, people really don't get it. But all because I said it takes one to know one. Boom. Everybody ran with it because
Hmm.
everyone wanted to believe it. You wanted to believe it. See, that's how easily the mind can be suggested into accepting false information. See, what that should be is a lesson to how important it is to truly listen to things and not allow yourself to just be, okay, now here comes the craziness. Here comes the craziness.
What happened?
I'm sick and tired of YouTubers. I just am. Now they're
What
trying
happened?
to say that Bill Cosby had Malcolm Jamal Warner sacrificed.
Stop it.
And I already know where they're gonna come, where that's gonna go. You know, it's because of his comment about how losing Malcolm makes him think about how when he lost his son Ennis. And now they're going to take that and they're
Right.
going to weave that into something and whoop de whoop. Well, it should. It should remind him because it was his real son. It was his
Mm-hmm.
real son.
And that was a Russian mob that had something to do with it. Or was it the I forget who which mob mafia. It was Russian or Armenian. Forgive me, I don't know which one. I think it was Russian.
Who knows who contracted who? What I
Mm-hmm.
will say is this. So begins the misdirection on this very misleading app. They're about to come up with 80 million different stories about what happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner. So y'all won't pay attention to what really did as they sit there and cover up the details and hide up the details because I guarantee you, whoever was behind what happened to him, whatever it was that might have happened to him allegedly, they're actively working to try to cover it up right now. And y'all all need to pay attention to the content creators who are the quickest to run with all of these conspiracy theories rather than just
Mm-hmm.
sticking to the facts and looking at it because nine times out of 10, They're being paid to create that mental chaos so that the bad guys can get away with it. I mean, they're all about to get away with what happened to Angie Stone, aren't they?
Hmm.
It's funny, the gematria numbers, same. Some of those numbers are the same. And salute to the spiritual shade room and salute to Miss Lowdown. Because they're on it. They're paying attention to the numbers just like we've been. Um, I am not a gematria specialist. I do study and I am learning. But man, the stuff that people are getting away with. So anyway, before we get up out of here, and I want to thank y'all for the likes. We got over 700. We have over 500 people in the room. More people are here. We wanted to talk to you guys and just ask you guys about how you're feeling. Like what are your real thoughts? What are your feelings? Whether you put it here in the chat or you leave it in the comments on the on this video or on any of the defending your freedom videos. Like, what would you like to see next? Now I saw that there were a lot of people that were there during the premiere today who were looking, and we're about to talk about the Zoom event in a second. Um, but we want to know your thoughts. We saw that there were some people asking what could be done. Someone said, should they write the judge? No, please
No,
do not.
don't write the drug. That's a
Please do
bad
not
idea.
bombard the judge. Please do not bombard any of the attorneys. Please do not bombard any of the. Mm-mm. We're not
Nope.
here
It's a
to ask
bad, very bad
anybody
idea.
to get in the way. Now, if there are specific things for support, what we will do, since you guys are interested and want to help, we'll ask the Hadleys if there's anything in particular that this platform can do to help them in their cause, to help them in their aid. We know more
A-
than one
Actually,
thing.
actually, we
Mm.
honestly, because there's a gag order. So to be honest,
Oh yeah, well
we're not gonna
we
ask
can't.
them anything.
Yeah, we can't because they're gagged already.
We're not gonna ask them anything. The only thing that they wanted us and listen to that video, what she said at the end. I think she said it all in regards to
Yeah,
what she wanted, getting the story out. Because I
and
think
that's
that's
really
what's
what we
most
need to
important.
do. That's really, 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 really what we need to do. That's what I was going to suggest. The numbers are very important. We need to make sure that we get it out there. We need to make sure that we're pushing other platforms and pushing them to task to make sure that they're sharing it as well. You know, there were so many people. One thing stuck out. Maureen said, "You guys." Well, we came to it from a very authentic place, but we need everyone to see these interviews. We need everyone to see this side of her. You know, she's done a very good job at defending herself. She's done a very good job at standing up for what she believes in. She's done a very good job for that. Can a gag order be lifted or terminated? Um, it's a possibility, but I'm not, I don't want to get into that. What I do want to say is that we were able to get as much as, if not all of the pertinent information for what's going on. We still have other parts of the lawsuit that we're going to be going over. This journey does not end here. We're going to be investigating and looking into all of the people who helped make and help make the gaslighting efforts go so textbook and just so like it's no big deal. We're going to look into that. We're going to go a lot further. This series isn't over with. We got Demoree's account, and now we're going to go and we're going to research and we're going to investigate everything that happened and everything that's around it. Yes, the judge did grant the gag order. It's been about 2 weeks now. Um, so here we are. We're the guardians of the Holy Grail. We got the words, we got the story, we got what's real, and we need to share it. We're on our way to we're about to cross 78K, slowly
Yep.
making our way. Um, 22,000 away from 100,000. A platform with as many subscribers as we have, and with the kind of engagement that we get, we should be able to spread this out. Like, and we need to spread it out. We need to make sure it gets there. You know, this story really hasn't gone viral. I don't know why people were lying and saying, oh, the story went viral. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. 100,000 views is not viral. It's not. Maybe the boop, but that's not viral. 500,000 views, that's viral. A million views, that's viral. And we all know that this story hasn't gotten anywhere near those numbers yet. Um, it would be great if we could get it to there. And it doesn't matter if it happens on this channel or if it happens on multiple channels. We need to get the word out there. But what you can do, if you want to write somebody, don't worry about writing the judge. Don't worry about bothering the lawyers. You can write the Congress people in that area. You can write the feds and let them know what you've seen. Like, if we need to be running to anyone, it's to everyone that we know in upper level government that needs to be hearing about this story, especially in the area where it's being tried. Down there in Miami, down there, Dade County, Broward County, we need to be writing, Congress people like, hey, are you paying attention to this case that's happening in your area? Now, that's something that I think makes sense. What about you, Said Noise?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that. Especially
Yeah.
with what goes on in Florida with the Baker Act, that needs to be reformed. We need to be speaking on that.
No, I don't have an ETA on my marathon live yet. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be or how it's going to be, but it
You
is
doing a
coming up.
marathon live?
Yeah, I'm going to do a marathon. I think it's time I do a marathon. I haven't done a marathon in quite some time.
What's a marathon live?
Um, just like a day in the life of me, but it's not going to be me getting gaslit this time. We're not going to do a live about me getting gaslit. That's not happening. Um, yeah, we need to write to as many people um, in upper government. They need to know. We're going to be sharing it with the people that we have. Um, I don't think it's gotten to the point where we need to do a petition yet, or where we need to even think about a petition yet, because
Nah.
we need to let the practice of law and due process happen as it needs to happen. But I do think that the government needs to be paying closer attention to what's going on, because it's not just what Desiree was able to enact, it's the kind of people she was able to get to go along with it. We're talking about not just attorneys, but we're talking about, DAs, we're talking about law enforcement officers. We're talking about a lot. And these people, they went right along with all of this. You know, on more than one occasion, Desiree Perez was able to call or have someone call and lie to the authorities to get an innocent man arrested for a crime that he did not commit. That's an issue. That's an issue, because if it's able to happen to them, and how many other citizens that are flying under the radar with stuff like this going on, that this is happening to as well. This is a problem. It's a huge problem. So yeah, going to we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out exactly what the course of action is going to be. But the next part of this journey is taking a good look and investigating everybody that helped put that young woman in a hospital, that helped put that young man in a jail cell, that, totally obliterated their First Amendment rights, and just all of their rights, their constitutional rights, just thrown out the window. Like, You can't even begin to imagine what it's like. Oh, we hit 78K. Oh, yay. I didn't know we were there
All
yet. I
right.
thought we were close. I didn't know we had hit it. Great. So we're 22 away from 100K. Um,
You mean,
but yet,
yeah, 22.
yeah, we're
Yep.
22,000 away from 100K. Yeah.
You're right.
So I want to make sure we get there. I want to thank everybody for all the contributions. Thank you. Thank you for the super chats and thank you to all of the new members. Um, I love it when, the new members come in. And like I said, it's so much better. We really do have a much better time here when when we're members only. So if you want to come in, if you want to engage, if you want to get going, uh, man, would both of you do a sit down interview with Cat Williams? Also, would you write a book about this side of the industry that goes back to Motown or earlier? Um, well, it's interesting that you say that because it might not be a book, but this coming Sunday, because we pushed the Zoom seminar back, we wanted a little more time to promote. We wanted to make sure that we gave people enough time to come in. That's pretty much what this is going to be about, the Zoom. We're going to be talking more about this more in depth. And it's not just going to be me, it's going to be me and Dr. Randy Short, who is an amazing advocate for, you know, cruelty free society as a whole. He has a lot of information about the boule. He is a little older than me, he's been around for quite some time. And between he and I, uh-oh, we got a buffering alert. I hope it's not happening again.
No, you're good.
Um, but
Just fighting Obama phone.
you know what, you a mess. But yeah, so please, I'm going to make sure that we post up the flyer on the community wall. Anybody who wants to get in, we still have spots available. Please get in that room because we're going to be able to go a little deeper and a little more in depth than we can here on YouTube. We're going to be able to talk a lot more honestly, and it's not
Yeah.
going to be open to the
And
public.
no, it's not open to the public, and it's Q&A as well.
And it is a Q&A. So it will be interactive. And if you guys want to come in and ask questions, thank you, Candace Brown. If you guys want to come in and you want to ask questions, you can do so. It's yes, this coming Sunday. It was scheduled originally for the 20th, but we pushed it back to the 27th, correct?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
26 actually.
well,
26
the
is
20,
Sunday.
we pushed it back to the 26th. So,
We might, and we might do these once a month, or at least once every other month, something like that, because the dialogue that needs to happen, in all honesty, with I know a lot of people are asking about the Demoree Hadley situation. What can they do? We need to like really get in front of certain stories, and we need to be proactive. Whether it needs to be writing to certain people, figuring out policy that's going to help us, like
exactly.
Jag, Dr. Short, it's a bunch of other people that are just we really about to just get things moving. Uh, like again, these politicians, they're more afraid of us because you know we got the people on our side, and all we got to do is just let everybody know what it is that we really need to be focused on. This is just the beginning of something that's going to be greater for everybody later.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot.
And as far as interviewing Cat Williams or anyone like him, I think enough people have interviewed him, and I think he said pretty much all that he's gonna say. I don't, the truth is Cat, he has his way, just like I have my way, just like everybody has their way. No whistleblower is the same or is alike. For me, what I really want to focus on interviewing, like if I'm going to interview someone from the industry, I want to be able to interview someone that I know is going to be able to tell me the truth about everything. Like I'm not interested in doing an interview with someone who I know is going to edit, and even Cat Williams edits. So that's just what's real. I don't need someone to give me an abridged or watered down version of what it is. What I'm saying is what I'm saying. And there are things that even I hold back on because I already know, you know, when you dance on this line, it's a very, very, very tight line. And the firewall isn't as thick as some people would like to believe. And you're going to see him in Baton Rouge. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you guys know I'm a huge fan. But the truth is one of us tell the wrong thing to the wrong person, and they can take that and turn that into something really terrible. So, for the simple fact of, I guess the best way for me to put it is no, I would not want to interview him because I would not want to put him in jeopardy. Just like I'm sure he, like there's certain people, there's certain of us who can never be caught together. We can never be caught talking to each other. Um, yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It just is. It you get two people like you get somebody like me and him in the same space at the same time. Gee, can you imagine that they'd be able to make people disappear? That the message that that would send to anybody else who would want to speak. Yeah, everyone has a voice in this. Those who are willing to speak up, everyone has a voice in this. Yeah, like I'm not interested in making anybody any more of a target than they already are. And the truth is that happens when people get around me. Well, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. And and we're glad that, we've been able to sit here with you for a bit. Um, Plus we wanted to really hear what you guys thought. Was there, what stuck out to you in the series? Is there anything else, any other questions that you guys feel like you needed answered? Did we answer all of your questions? Let us know in the comments. And please, guys, share this video. Share all necessary videos. This story needs to be heard. And like I said, I'm not interested in industry beefs. I'm not interested in being caught up in industry beefs. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. What I am interested in is justice for the Hadleys, justice for Demoree, and everyone who needs to be held accountable should be held accountable. Oh, welcome to Jag Nation, Her Majesty. Welcome. Um, just came in, Jag. You're so versatile. Thank you, Alina. I I am what I am, but what I am first though is a child of God. And the one thing that I will say, talking to Demore and listening to her, no, thank you, salute. Um, we're gonna be working on other stories like this. Oh, welcome, godliness. Welcome to Jag Nation. We're gonna be doing more journalism pieces like this. We don't get me wrong, we want to have fun, we want to laugh, we want to clown, we want to joke, but there's so many more important things that are happening in the world that need to be addressed. And not everybody's gonna be there. Not everybody's gonna want to be on the front lines. Most people are only interested in getting engagement. Most people are only interested in how they want to make money. They don't want to do things that are gonna push the line or, mess up their stuff. We went from three monetized channels to one. We lost two, and we were willing to put it on the line because we wanted to get that information. We wanted you guys to have the truth, and we're still here. We're still in that fight, and we believe that those channels are coming back. We prayed on it. We done our due diligence. We know we didn't do anything that was outside of the guidelines. And if other people are getting their stuff back, then we should get ours back as well. And leave those comments, make those suggestions as well. Like we have to make our voices known. There's so many of the frauds here. Oh, thank you, Maya. Maya says, thanks for an awesome and important content about to watch. And I think you might need to, Maya, because I'm telling you, it gets thick and it gets deep really, really, really fast. And we're 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 not done with this. There are so many people that are out there trying to defend their freedoms and their rights. And we want to talk to as many. Those are the people we're really interested in interviewing because there's so many of them. I got to reach out to Johnny Savory. It's a gentleman in Chicago. He
Yeah, I think yeah, we got to get with him for sure.
his story is it's grueling, it's taxing. But if what you're interested in is the truth and knowing how it's manipulated and becoming a part of the change that eradicates killing free speech and destroying people's stories and flipping them and remix them and all of that, then stick with us here because we're going to be bringing you more of that. So like I said, this part, defending your freedom, these first 4 episodes with us sitting with Demoree, with bringing everything to you, with you guys being able to see it. But she said, I spent half of my life in Turkey. You really struck my soul when you asked, I was ready for every day. Yeah, yeah, it's true. America is way too spoiled. There are too many places in this in this world that experience trauma and pain and torture all of the time, and we don't really get touched. We don't really get touched at all. Not like a lot of other places do. And we want to start focusing on those things. We want to start bringing you guys the truth and asking you to help us protect it. Help us protect the truth because there's so many damn liars. There's so many damn liars, G.
Yeah.
And there's so many liars. Sometimes it makes me wonder if I'm all the way there. Like it's when you go online. Oops, 777 on the likes. Thank you guys, and keep on liking. Um, there have been times where I've went through these algorithms and I've seen so many lies about me, so much dishonest content. It almost makes me want to question what I know to be true. And then I had to remember they're liars and I'm telling the truth, and that's that. And it doesn't matter how many lies people tell, it's never going to be the truth. The question is what are you going to allow yourself to believe? Now, when Demoree's story first came here, when it first came to YouTube, it was all fixed up to make Javon out to be the bad guy and her out to be some brainwashed little girl who's lost in a man and whoopty whoopty whoop. Can you imagine if we had never gotten a chance to talk to her? Can you imagine if we had never gotten a chance to put this expose together so you guys could see everything? How many people would have continued to believe that story? Hmm? How many people? Because that's how the story came here. That's exactly how it came here. Javon was this abuser, and we got this video, we got this footage, and look at this, and this is what he did to her, and woo. So many content creators were just willing to run with that and let it ride. But for God, and he tapped me on the shoulder and he was like, it's time for you to get in there. Go to work, girl. Show them the truth. I just can't believe that they actually took the time to invent another version of that without the blurs to make it look a little more cleaned up. And if you knew the content creator that played it, I'm just glad it was able to be reported and the proper authorities were able to see it. But that was disgusting. 3 weeks. It took them 3 weeks to come up with another version to try to peddle that crap around a little bit further. And that was the other thing that kind of pissed me off about the Tasha K interview. Seeing the way people were sitting there in those comments, still referencing that video as if people didn't know that it had already been debunked. Hmm. Hmm. Man, it's just funny the stuff that people want to believe or the lies that people feel the need to tell. And they don't care about whose life they're destroying, whose life they're ruining. They do it all for the money, for the super chat, for the clicks and the view, for the cash app. They don't care. These are real people. They have real lives. And their real lives were affected by fake news. Hmm. Question is this. If I had never questioned the validity of that video, what would this story be looking like now? And how many other content creators would have ran with that video? Because I tell you one thing, second that I did that breakdown, I didn't see nobody running with it like that no more. What do you think?
What do I think of what?
Do you
Do
think if
people?
we had a never gotten into that AI breakdown, do you think it would have that video would have, got more traction?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I honestly don't know.
Well, that's funny because it made a comeback after the original got debunked.
Yeah, I know.
And
They
that's what
tried. They
I'm
tried
asking
to.
you. That's what
They
I'm
tried to
asking
come
you.
with the. They tried to come with the 4K version.
Yeah,
It came with the shared experience version.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
doubt it.
just I'm just no, I'm just curious how many more people would have kept sharing that if we hadn't have jumped in there and said, hey, this is bullshit. Because that was at the beginning. That was at the beginning of this journey, and now we're what, almost 2 months in? Almost 2 months in. And the trial isn't until next year. So we got to find a way to keep staying vigilant, and we got to keep sharing, and we got to keep liking, and we got to keep telling people, we got to keep sharing, we got to keep liking, we got to keep telling people, and we got to make sure this thing gets seen. The truth, the complete and utter truth, with the receipts, with the evidence. And if you guys see anybody else just spilling any other propaganda regarding this story, please let us know. Drop a comment. Let us know. Because if that's something that we need to tackle, then we need to tackle that. But we need to protect this story for everything and with everything because we know what they're willing to do to try to derail it. So yeah, yeah, y'all need to come by to the Zoom room for those of you who want to have a more in-depth talk. It's the Zoom room. We'll be in there. You'll be able to speak. You ain't got to worry about anybody looking at you in the comments and following you around and stalking, harassing your account. It's just going to be us in the Zoom. It'll be kind of like this, but with a lot more room, a lot more leeway. You guys will be able to ask us questions. We'll be able to answer. Dr. Short will be there. He's going to be sharing a lot of information. We're going to be going deep. And
Karen,
yeah,
Karen, Karen might. get involved as well.
Oh, that would be
Got a
great
lot
if
of got
Sister
a lot
Karen
of
could
people
come
that
through.
really, yeah, like you, the people behind the scenes that really, really rock with us. We don't announce it like that, but yeah, you know, some of these people might just come out the woodworks on us. So
Well, whatever the case may be, we're going to be dropping the flyer here. Going to be putting it on
it's
the
pretty much
community wall.
go go to your website if you want to go to
Yeah, you could do that too.
djaguarwright.com, and it's simple. Just read it on the first, right there at the first splash of the page. You can
Hmm.
get all the information right there.
Yeah, and how to and for those who are on the Patreon, some of them will actually have access to the link because they're
Yeah.
members, correct?
Yep.
So for the Patreon members, you should already,
You'll
all
automatically
depending
get an
on,
email. Yeah.
yeah, you'll automatically, yeah, you'll get access to it. And is there anything else for right
That's
now?
it. That's
I think
it.
that's it. Yeah. It's been a
I think
minute since we got a chance
I
to
need
kick it with
like
you guys.
two more people to sign up for my
Ooh,
channel. That's it. I
can we
think just two more.
can we get two more people before we go?
Yeah, three more people. So
Oh, three more people. That would be great if we could get it before we go. But if not, I'm sure it's gonna show up. And replay
hmm
game, y'all already know the link is pinned in the chat. Yeah, thank you for all of the 800 plus likes. Thank you for the 400 and some odd people still in the room. I know the numbers have been jumping up and down. I know we've been doing whatever we've been doing. But you know, replay gang, please continue to like. And I just want to say thank you for coming on this journey with us. It hasn't been easy. From the moment that we got involved in this story to the moment that we released it, to the blitz, to the attacks, to um, strikes, to just everything. It's um it's been a lot, and we just wanted to take this time with you guys after airing out, you know, that final episode of the interview with Demore, before we move on to the next part of this journey. Um, yeah, it's been a lot, but it's been worth it. And I know that the way we're doing content over here now is changing up the format. I know there's a lot of people that are, not so happy about that. But this isn't about, fighting off trolls anymore. This isn't about just fighting for my freedom or fighting for my honor. It's about fighting for honor, period. And if you guys are here with me, if this is what you're in it for, then this is where we're going to stay and we're going to keep fighting. And if there's anyone that you know that has a story similar to Demore's or similar to mine, and they want to come over here on the platform and talk about it, please let them know. Here, we fight and we defend freedom. We believe in it. We honor it. And we're here to stand in solidarity with anyone who wants to tell their story and get it out there. Because I promise you, there's a lot more people out there like us than you know. A lot more. So, hmm, my chilled vibe is contagious. You know what? I'm all kinds of vibes. I got 80 million vibes. Like I'm not the same from one way or another. It's sometimes I am more reserved. Sometimes I'm but whatever I am, I'm me. And I thank you for appreciating all sides of me. I think it's important for people to be well-rounded. And I think it's important for people to know all of you, honor all of you, embrace all of you. It's me. For a long time, people only thought or saw certain parts of me. And for a long time, people only thought that certain parts of me existed. And now here we are. You know, there were content creators that were trying to convince people that I couldn't read, that I was this, that I was that I was blah, that I was whoop, that I was that. And there were people that were actually believing that crap. There were people that were actually sitting there like lapping that stuff up. But when I started sharing myself and I started coming forward, yeah, I was fighting and I was doing a lot and there was a lot going on, but it's nice to just be able to cool out with you guys and just be here in the moment, you know? I was gang stalked for God knows how long. And to a certain extent, it's ending now. I feel it coming, at least the public part of it or the online public part of it. I'm not just some wild, crazy chick. And I wasn't wild and crazy just because I was on some wild and crazy shit. I'm not. I was fighting for my life. And for a while there, they were coming for my life. And I know a lot of people have stuck around and watched to see whether or not there was going to be more stuff. We get caught up into this online stuff. We do. We get caught up and we forget that these are real people. And that's just what I want to keep reminding people always. You were in that environment. They had you committed, had her home raided, yup, in prison. Yeah, yeah. And they were hoping that I was gonna die like that so they could keep talking about it and immortalize me. I want to ask you guys something though before we go. Has anybody been paying attention to the coverage of Dr. Umar online lately? Before we go, put a six in the chat if you think Dr. Umar is getting what he deserves. Put a seven in the chat if you think he's being gang stalked and gaslit. Because unfortunately, that woman, whatever her name is, she's been doing a lot of interesting interviews. And yeah, there is too much of what's going on with Dr. Umar right now that resembles what happened to me. And let's be clear, I'm not a Dr. Umar fan. Like Odell is more good on Dr. Umar than I am. Like me and Odell have almost had arguments, like lightweight, low key, have almost had arguments about Dr. Umar. I'm not exaggerating, am I?
No.
Okay. Um, it's definitely increasing. It's definitely stepping up. Um, you know, but I'm watching what is that? What's that?
Some on talking about producers back in the day getting it's something about music being made too easy to nowadays. It's nothing. People are just talking all kind of ish. Um Dr. Umar,
Hmm.
they've been yeah, they're pretty much it's pretty much his turn now. They pretty much uh yeah, they basically are going after him.
Oh yeah, it I don't like it though. There was a troll that I do believe is law enforcement, who likes running around writing long paragraphs, um, doxing people, but They used to have her in all of the troll chats, dropping personal information about me, doxing me, and then letting her go from platform to platform. She's white, don't like it at all. Uh, but she's attacking Dr. Umar now. She was over there with Drizzle Monroe, encouraging people to call adult protective services on his mother. Um, yeah, they're I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. I might look into it a little bit more. We might talk about it because I don't know if it's relevant at this point in time. Maybe it is. We'll see where this goes. But what I've learned about them is when they have to give up one person to eat off of, they dive into another. That woman had the audacity to talk about his elderly mother who is disabled, to talk about her body odor, to talk about her vaginal health. I mean, it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. They were sitting there encouraging her to label that man as a pharmaceutical addict, even though she said she never witnessed him do it, but she believed he did it. Like it's insane when you encourage people to get online and lie about somebody and then try to push it off like it's real. It was triggering for me. And it's crazy because I no, it's not true. I do not believe it. I looked at that woman. I was watching her. I was watching her. I'm gonna tell you what I do think is true. I think the Jaguar Wright train up and died, and these trolls found a new meal. That's what I think. I think they're on Dr. Umar. I think he's easy prey, and I believe that someone from a very, very, very familiar online criminal organization selected that woman and put that woman in his life. I'm telling you, I know how they do it because they did it to me. I believe that woman pretended to be a supporter of him. I believe that woman found a way to get close to him. I could tell you right now, when you are an adult with an active life and you do a lot of traveling, having a sick elderly parent is a lot of work. You made it to the 500. Odell.
He said, "Oh, I made it to. I didn't. I don't know. I,
Yeah.
I, I hope I did. Okay. Well, if I did, let me see. uh, no, I didn't. Oh yeah, 500. Good looking out. Appreciate it.
You know what?
No, because it still said like 497. So that's what it
Yeah,
said. Like, yeah. Okay. Appreciate it.
you
Thank
you got
y'all. Thank
you
you.
got to refresh.
Yeah, I know.
Yay! 78 and 5. Come on.
And I should get my original channel back. So
Yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna get the Jaguar Wright show back. Yeah.
well, the Jaguar Wright show when it comes back, we're gonna get back to them sit down interviews and the truth chair. We got to get you another truth chair.
Yeah, or
You
maybe
down for that?
a couch.
Or a beanbag?
No, no beanbags. No beanbags.
I'm kidding.
No beanbags.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to get you
no.
something with support. I get it. No,
They're
we need
going
you.
they are going after they are going after. Well, no, not 500K, just 500. I wish.
500K.
I wish he was at 500K. No, but seriously though, the purple couch, maybe a purple
Yeah,
couch.
purple couch. We'll get a purple
Uh,
couch.
But my thing is, so seriously, yeah, no, I just, for someone who was never a fan of Dr. Umar, it was the first time I can honestly say I felt empathy and compassion for him because I see what they're doing, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna look a little bit more. I'm gonna see what's going on there. But yeah, yeah. Of course, we're gonna speak everything into existence, just like we speaking the 100K and the 1,000 members here, just like all of it, and we're gonna keep moving forward. So yeah, I think that's it. And salute to setting the West back up. Made it to that 500, and we 1K coming on the way. Baby steps, getting there. Yay! Go 5. And yes, and Nick, guys, please make sure that you're subscribing to everyone in the family. Please. You know, that's why we encourage everybody to keep dropping each other's links. Let's keep on. Because the second that we lock up our community, we don't have to worry about anybody else. We just keep inviting people in. Keep inviting the right people in. You know, it's been a hell of a thing. It really has. But getting this platform to the point where we're able to run decent engagement on our channel, members only, it it's really awesome. You know, it just is. It just is. It might not, there's plenty of people who there's plenty of people who like to keep the floodgates open and they want the engagement. They want the engagement and all kinds of crazy stuff being said in the chat and all kinds of nasty things being said and all kinds of this and all kinds of that being done. And I don't want that. I don't want that for here. I don't want that for us. I don't want that on my transcripts. I don't want people going back and looking and seeing a bunch of crazy nastiness. Part 4 was amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Please like, share. Um, but yeah, and you guys know how we do when it comes to the family. Please drop the links in the chat. Everybody, subscribe to everyone. Keep your truth line tight. You know, we're trying to build things up to the point where we don't have to worry about going to these other outlets where we know they're lying to us. We can share the truth here and get it out to the world. So yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, we out of here. Is it you good? And for those of you guys who are going to participate in the Zoom, we'll see you there this coming Sunday. Please tell a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know somebody that wants to ask some questions that you know we can't answer on YouTube. Tell them come in.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, number love here in Jaguar Country.
All right.
Peace.